Hey, here are 5 stupid things I've noticed since last time. Convicted rapist sentenced to 30 days in prison. Week before last, a district judge in Billings, Montana sentenced a former high school teacher named Stacy Dean Rambold to 30 days in prison for raping one of his former students who was 14 at the time. The victim has since committed suicide. The judge, G. Todd Ball, justified the light sentence by pointing out that the rape was of the statutory type and not one of the violent, forcible, beat the victim kind of rapes, and also that the victim seemed to be older than her chronological age and was just as much in control of the situation as her rapist. The sentence was actually so light that it was illegal. Judge Ball convened a hearing this past Friday to amend the sentence after prosecutors in the case pointed out that the minimum prison sentence for Rambold's crime was 2 years. What's the minimum sentence for being a horrible judge? Florida man cites stand your ground law and Bush doctrine to justify double homicide. Attorneys defending William Woodward, a 44-year-old man from Titusville, Florida, who shot and killed 2 neighbors and wounded a 3rd at a Labor Day picnic, are claiming that Woodward's act was permissible under their state's, you know what I'm going to say, the stand your ground law. Yes, the stand your ground law. When you have to retroactively justify a homicide, there's nothing like it. Woodward's attorneys are also citing the Bush doctrine, arguing that Woodward acted preemptively to defend himself against an imminent threat. You know, like George Bush did when he invaded Iraq. Mr. Woodward, I know you're not actually watching this, and if you are, you know, fuck you, but even though you're a deranged killer, I gotta tell you, if I were you, I'd start looking for another lawyer. Outrage over Miley Cyrus's performance at the VMAs. If you give enough of a fuck about Miley Cyrus to feel outrage over anything she does, you're doing something wrong. McCain plays poker during Syria hearing. Last week, during a Senate Foreign Relations Committee meeting on the proposed military action in Syria, Senator John McCain was photographed playing poker on his smartphone. I don't know what's more appalling, McCain's lighthearted, unapologetic reaction to being caught, or the fact that the media seems ready and willing to just let him get away with it. McCain laughed it off, citing the long and boring nature of those Senate committee meetings. But given the circumstances, I don't think a few hours of serious attention from my elected leaders is too much for me to expect. Yes, John, I'm sure those Senate committee meetings do tend to run on from time to time. But seeing as how the subject of the meeting was whether or not to send our military over to someone else's country and kill a bunch of people, maybe you could just pretend to give a shit. Huh, motherfucker? What do you say? The unifying power of war. President Obama's administration has been weighted down by nearly monolithic Republican opposition and general congressional inaction, but all of that could be about to change, at least temporarily, because it's time to bomb Syria. Now, of course, support is far from universal for this proposed military action, but it is one of the few major proposals of Obama's presidency that has garnered significant support crossing party lines. Democrats concerned with upholding international standards, discouraging the use of chemical weapons, are joining forces with warmongering Republicans who are eager for the United States to once again rain death down upon the Middle East. It's nice, isn't it, to know that even our most hardened, bitter political differences can be set aside when it's time to kill shit tons of Arabs. The hardest part is only picking 5. Catch you next time.